The most valuable people on set aren't always the ones with the biggest title or the fanciest gear. In fact, I think sometimes it's the people that show up on set asking the simple question, how can I serve? Before we talk about gear or we talk about solutions, we need to talk about mindset, because every innovation and improvement I've made to my sets has come from the same thought. How can I make someone else's life easier? It's not about being a people pleaser, it's about being a problem anticipator. Because when you start approaching your work with a service mindset, you start to see opportunities everywhere. Think about your average production day. What slows people down? What causes people stress? What makes others' jobs harder? For me, one of my first ones was getting a large light source on travel gigs where we had to travel really nimble. When you start figuring out what gear to take on a travel shoot, you become pretty sparing with your luggage. So that's what led to this. I invented this several years back. It's been coined as the K-bar locally. It's a 6-foot collapsible rag holder that travels in a tripod case. But here's what really matters. It wasn't about showing off my DIY skills. It was about getting a softer light, providing the client with a better product, and saving the crew time and frustration. Speaking of solving problems, one of my proudest contributions came from a challenge that a lot of filmmakers face, and that's getting an accurate color temperature reading from a location. It started as a really simple idea, but like any passion project, it continued to grow, and launching it has been quite the journey. Version 1.0 wasn't perfect. It had a few bugs and we had a few crashes, which was unfortunate because we put a lot of time into beta testing and we never had a single crash. But I guess that's the beauty of building something. You get to keep refining it. You know, honestly, there's been some stressful moments. Building an app from scratch isn't the easiest thing to do, but it's been fun building a brand and then hearing user feedback from people that are using it out in the field. It's pretty amazing and humbling to see something you built to solve your own problem helping other filmmakers out in the real world. Same thinking led to this custom C-stand rack in my van. When I got a van, I decided to learn how to weld and start creating that way. Easy to load in and load out, it just saves us time and keeps stands from becoming too unorganized. But here's where it gets really powerful. When you consistently show up with a service mindset, people notice. Not because you're broadcasting it, but because you're making their jobs just a little bit easier, and they'll take tally of that and hire you on the next gig. I've really seen this mindset play out whenever people adapt their gear packages to a certain creative, or they anticipate a need before it arises, or when they stay flexible as circumstances change, because on every film set, circumstances do change. To implement this, I think it's important that we take stock of our strengths and skills, and I do this about every year. So ask yourself these questions. What's causing stress for others? Where are we losing time? What are obstacles that I could remove? How can I best serve? You don't have to be a welder or developer. Just start with your own skills and perspectives. Maybe you can organize files better, or maybe you have ideas on how to streamline communication or make sets logistically easier. And remember, a lot of the times the specific solution matters a lot less than the mindset behind the solution, because people genuinely care about others that are looking out for their best interest. This week I challenge you, approach every day asking yourself, how can I best serve? Notice the problems that you naturally spot, and then come up with solutions for those problems. Write them down. If you come up with any great ones, I'd love to hear them. And I'll leave you with this. Being indispensable is not about being a hero. It's about solving problems and making others' lives easier.